That's a good question. Well, I should probably back up to when I was at Loyola, my junior year, I went to Ohio Light Opera. So I started really singing professionally when I was still at Loyola, you know, with opera companies. So first of all, I would encourage you to audition for everything. I mean, you can't audition for too many people, especially, you know, when you're a young singer. If there's an audition in Baton Rouge, drive to Baton Rouge. You know, I did that a million times. You know, I sang for Shreveport Opera, and I did the Ohio Light Opera audition there. And a lot of times they come to Loyola. Loyola is really great about that. They have a lot of auditions here. But, you know, if you find out that there's one in Jackson, you know, go together and just go and sing for people, because right now you just need people to hear you and to see you and to just try to get your name out. So I did do that, and then after that I did Des Moines Opera. I was an apprentice there. Then I went to Yale for grad school, and you know, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to do a doctorate. I got a fellowship to do a doctorate at LSU because I really didn't want to just move to New York without a job. I thought, oh man, I'm going to have a master's degree, you know, undergrad and a master's, and I'm just going to move to New York without a job. You know, it's not my nature. I need to have a little bit more of stability. You know, some people can do it, and my hat's off to them. But I knew I needed to do something else. So I got this fellowship to do the doctorate, which I really thought I was going to do. But then, a week after I got that fellowship, I got this audition to sing for Placido Domingo. Yeah, I know. It was a miracle, really. And I have to tell you, too, that the people I was in school with said, are you really going to apply for that? And I said, it can't hurt. You know, all they can do is turn me down, right? Well, through the grace of God, you know, I got picked to do this audition. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to go there, you know, and they took 50 people. So I thought all 50 of us were going to get to sing for Placido. Well, no, there were 2 rounds. So I thought, oh man. So I sing the first round, and they say we're going to pick 12 from this. So somehow they picked me in the 12, and I'm still thinking, oh no, they've got me mixed up with someone else. But I go in there and I sing for Placido. I just had 5 minutes, and you know, I thought, oh well, that was fun. You know, a lot of times you do auditions, you don't hear anything. You may never hear anything, and sometimes they'll tell you you're the best thing since sliced bread, and then you'll never hear from them. I mean, it's just, this business is very fickle. So just to prepare you for that. So anyway, so I thought, oh, I'll never hear from him or hear from them. And I got this email. I was actually driving from Yale back to New Orleans because I had graduated by this time, so I was coming back home. And I had gotten this email when I'd stopped in Tennessee where a friend of mine lived. And it looked like a rejection email. It was just sort of like, thank you for singing. We thought, you know, you sounded great. And I really didn't read it very well. It really just kind of looked like a standard email. Well, I get home like 3 days later, and I think, you know, maybe I should just really read that again. And I read it, and it says, you know, Placido so enjoyed you, he'd like to invite you to LA instead of DC. And I didn't even realize at this time that he was the general director of both companies. You know, I didn't even realize in my mind it was, I'm singing to be a young artist in DC. So anyway, so then I called the people, and they said, oh, well, we've been waiting for you to call. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. You know, it's really not like me. I'm normally more responsible than that and to read my email. And they said, yeah, we advised you to read your emails more carefully. And I thought, but okay, I will do that in the future. So anyway, so then they said he would like for you to join him in LA as a resident artist. So a week, I thought, well, I guess I'm going to LA. You know, that was not in my plan at all. I was going to Central City that summer. I was going to be an apprentice there. So I was an apprentice there for 3 months. And then I finished there and had to fly there that night and start rehearsal the next day. And I'm still in the back of my mind thinking, I really don't think they have the right person. I'm so afraid I'm going to get there and they're going to say, who are you? But I get there and I'm like, well, here I go. I'm gonna, go into a rehearsal. So I open the door, which I think is my rehearsal, but it's not. It's actually Placido's with his accompanist, and I just kind of walk in, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna tell me to leave. But instead he said, hello, Sarah Jane, welcome to Los Angeles. I was like, thank God. And I called my parents and I said, I really am supposed to be here. And so that was really how I made my transition, which it is kind of a fairy tale story in a way. But, if it can happen to me, I feel like it can happen to anybody, because this career takes you on so many paths, and you just have to really have an open mind and trust that it's going to happen. And I've had, stepping stones that have really kind of kept me in it to think, okay, well, this happened, and then, I got a leading role at New York City Opera, and then, there were just things that kept happening. It would have been harder for me if I hadn't had the stepping stones, but everyone is different, and I know some people that, hadn't done too many things, and then they have a small role at the Met. It's just crazy how things happen like that. But you really do need to have a thick skin, and you have to be able to handle success, and you have to be able to handle rejection. They really come hand in hand. So, hope that answers your question. Yes?
Do you still dance, and do you think that's important?
Well, I don't take dance classes anymore because I really don't have time to. I don't really know when I would do it. And I've been really focusing more on my voice, because it is very important, I think, to be able to know how to hold yourself on stage, and it has really helped me, because I danced for 15 years, and even when I was at Loyola, I fought the opera. Carol probably remembers that. I was still doing, I'm a Broadway baby, when I'm on my recitals, They were so nice to me to let me kind of keep it, But no, I do think it's really important, and I fought doing the opera because I missed the dancing. Tap was my really big thing, and I don't ever get to tap dance anymore. But it just sort of became apparent to me that this was a little bit more of my path, and opera was so challenging to me. I got to do Adina is what I did, my first one here when I was a sophomore. And David Morlock and Mr. Frohmeyer and Carol, they all had faith in me that I could do this, and it was so hard. I just had never had to sing something like this. With musical theater, if you have to sing Till There Was You just listen to it one time and then you can sing it, right? If with an aria, it's like a huge process. You have to really get in your voice, and, oh, how can I sing this so it sounds better, and add this extra cadenza and do the optional thing, and there's just so much more to it. With that said, I wish I had more time to take dance classes. I still can dance. I can, I have enough training that I kind of know how to do it. I wouldn't say that I could just be a dancer, But no, I do encourage you to take movement classes and dance classes if you think you're, to the level. I know they have even beginner dance classes in a few venues around New Orleans. So, no, I think it's important, and you'll find that you'll have a step above other opera singers. I have done some Broadway concerts, and that has helped me, having the musical theater background, because I've maybe have a little bit more of an idea how to cross over between them. You have, I can tell you know how to move, A lot of people wouldn't have been able to just do a spin like that. They would have kind of had to hold on to the piano. You should look into that. If you have an hour a week, go take a ballet class. Or you probably do, who knows?
Yeah, I did Spanish flamenco and classical for 10 years, but it's totally different type of movement, so.
But that doesn't matter, because it's a totally different type of movement, but you still know how to hold yourself. And that's what's important. There's a difference between walking to an audition like this, or walking to an audition like, hi, I'm here and I'm going to sing for you, and just being ready to do it. Not pompous or anything, but just confident, Yeah.